Instagram is literally one of the best places online right now to build a personal brand, grow a following, and then monetize that following with an online business, offering them products and services so that you can make money and live the life that you want to live. And with this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 simple tips to help you grow your Instagram account and to grow it fast and free. Now you're going to want to watch all the way through because in this video, I'm also going to give you some secret sauce that's really going to help you grow your Instagram organically and fast. So stay tuned because this is coming up right now. What's going on, guys? Gabe Kemizi here with Marketing Made Easy, and welcome to my channel. On my channel, I teach entrepreneurs how to take their side hustles and turn them into 6-figure businesses with marketing strategies, systems, and the right mindset so that you can go out there and create the life that you deserve and live life on your own terms. And in this video, we're talking all about Instagram. So I want to share with you guys how to build an Instagram following and how to build a viral Instagram account and how to be able to monetize that Instagram account so that you can make money on a consistent basis with your online business. Now, we're not going to be necessarily touching on paid strategies and other scaling strategies. This is only really for people who are just getting started. You're starting from scratch, starting from zero, or you have an Instagram following, but you're looking at continually building it so that you can use that for your online business. So with this video, we're going to be talking about 4 specific things. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So the very first thing you want to make sure you have in check with your Instagram is your bio. Now, your bio is super important because first of all, if you don't have a bio, you have about 0.23357 seconds to get somebody's attention when they land on your page. And if your bio isn't interesting or letting people know exactly what you do, you're gonna lose people. So not having a bio is definitely a no-no, but having a bio and not putting in the right information is also equally as bad. So what information should you be including in your Instagram bio? All right, so there are 4 main things. You want to include who you are, what you do, how your audience will benefit, and a call to action. So let's start with number 1. Who are you? What are you all about? Now, a lot of people like to be like cute with their bios and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to monetize, if you're trying to help people, if you're trying to provide a service or a product, then you gotta let people know who you are. Next thing you wanna do is let people know what you do, okay? Now, you can be a comedian, but there are different types of comedians out there. You can be a coach, but there are different types of coaches out there. So it's not enough to just say you're a coach. You're a coach sharing what? What are you actually sharing? What are you actually wanting to get people excited for your business? The next thing is the how. And this right here is probably the most important thing. So I'm gonna kind of start this because the only thing people care about is what's in it for them. They do not care how pretty your Instagram account is. They do not care what you're selling. They don't care if you sell anything or not. They don't really care. The only thing they care about is what are you doing for them? How can you benefit them? How is following you and following your page going to help them? So you want to share in a clear, concise way what you're doing for them and how they can benefit. And there's a simple way to do this. It's a simple formula. All you got to do is say something as simple as I help blank do blank so that they can have blank. You can follow this simple formula, right? So I help, who do you help, right? I help entrepreneurs do what? Take their side hustles and build 6-figure businesses so that they can live their dream lifestyle. You want to be as clear, as concise as you can be so that when somebody comes to your page, they see who you are, they see what you do, and most importantly, they see how you can help them, why they should care. This is the very first thing that people are going to want to know, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. This is what people are looking for. So if you can break it down in this simple formula, that's going to be perfect. And then last but not least, a call to action. People are not going to do anything if you don't tell them to do anything. You want to give a clear call to action. What do you want people to do when they find your page? Do you want them to, download a free PDF or something? Do you want them to join your masterclass, or do you want them to go to your website and check out your products? Do you want them to book a call with you, book a consultation with you? Do you want them to just follow, right? What do you want people to do? You got to be specific and tell people exactly what you want to do. Okay, and you can take a look at my bio at Marketing Made Easy on Instagram, and you'll see like what my call to action is for them to go to my website, to check out my services, or reach out and book a one-on-one consultation with me. Okay, that's my call to action, because if you don't let people know exactly what you want them to do, they're not going to do anything. All right, guys. So this is the bio that you kind of want to have set up if you are trying to build an Instagram that's specifically trying to build followers that you can use to eventually monetize in some way, shape, or form. Next, factor number 2 is your content. All right, so now people come to your page and they find out, they know what you're about, and they know how you can help them. What's the next thing? Guys, content is king. Content is going to be the second reason why people follow you, if not the first, because without good content, why should anybody even care? So you want to be putting out content, but putting out content on a consistent basis. I recommend when you're first starting off, posting at least once a day, twice or 3 times if you can do it, but at least getting started, you want to be posting one time a day, and you want to make sure that it's good quality content. There's no point in posting something that's terrible just for the sake of posting it, because that defeats the purpose in the first place. Why should you even care about your content? Because your content creates your personal brand. Now, this is so important because your personal brand is what is going to set you apart from everything and every other person. When people come to me in my one-on-one consultations, or they just reach out to me, they're like, yo, how can I stand apart in a field that's so competitive, or there's so much saturation in the field? Like, I want to start a particular business, but it seems like everybody is doing that. How do I stand apart? Your personal brand, that's how you do it. Okay, because with your personal brand, it's not going to necessarily matter what business you do, what product you sell, what service you offer. When people begin to know who you are, like who you are, and trust who you are, and like and follow your personal brand, no matter what direction you move in, you're gonna have a following that is following you and following your personal brand. And how you create your personal brand is through content. Now, there's 2 specific types of content that you want to be creating for your personal brand. And those 2 types of content is, you want to be creating broad content, and then you want to also be creating expertise content. All right, so broad content, what do I mean by that? Broad content, this is the content that lets people in, so to speak, the behind the scenes stuff. So behind the scenes, inspirational stuff, or motivational stuff, lifestyle, thoughts, your opinion, what you ate for the day, right? Food, like this is just broad stuff. This is just to let people know who you are. Personality, you can share your family, right? Family, or travel. Like, these are just things that let people in and let people understand like who you are as a person. You want to also mix that in with expertise stuff. And what do I mean by expertise content? Content that is specifically about your business, about your product, and about your service. So it's specifically your business, your products, your service, and your skill set, your expertise, right? If you're a fitness coach, this is where you're posting, workouts that they can do from home. Or if you're a chef, this is where you're posting recipes that you've created. You want to have these 2 types of content, and you want to have like a good balance between the 2, because if you do too much of one or the other, it's not going to create that personal brand that you need. If you're just all expertise and all business, you're just gonna come off as someone that's just trying to sell something, right? And it's just being all salesy, and nobody really is here for all that, especially if you're on social media. And if you're just all personal stuff, I mean, that could be great, but then now when you turn around and tell people to buy something, they're gonna look at you like, why are you trying to sell me something? Because I was just here to follow your travel and follow your lifestyle. But if you can do both, if you can incorporate both aspects, you start to create a personal brand where people associate you with a product, with a service, with you trying to help people, and that's going to ultimately help warm people up to become clients, become customers, and to follow your personal brand. All right, now, so along with this, other pieces of content that I highly recommend, especially for Instagram, is IGTV and Instagram Live. These are also great ways to build your personal brand, great content that you can do. And the great thing about this is Instagram just recently came out with the feature where you can repurpose these things, where you can shoot a live video and then turn it into an IGTV video, or you can share it on your IGTV profile, and you can also preview it on your regular news feed. Okay, so these are the types of content that you want to be creating. Remember, the importance of this is it helps you build your personal brand. This should ultimately be your goal. You want to build a personal brand, because let's say one day your business does shut down, God forbid, right? Or let's say you want to change directions, or let's say you want to add something. If you want to dip your toes into different areas, you don't want to silo yourself into being in one industry or doing one thing. You want to create a personal brand where people just get to know who you are, like who you are, and trust who you are. So no matter what you do, people will follow you. This is why people like Gary Vee, Tai Lopez, and all these other people, they're able to just kind of put out whatever. Gary Vee put out shoes that like sold out. Gary Vee is not a shoe person, right? He's an entrepreneur and coach and teacher and a serial entrepreneur. But because of his personal brand, he was able to put out shoes that sold off the shelves quickly. Why? Because people just know who he is. They like him, they trust him. And because of a personal brand that he's built doing all this types of content, he's able to do that. And that is what my goal for you guys is to be able to create that for yourself as well. Let's go on to number 3. Boom, number 3, hashtags. Once you have your bio, you've created your content, now we're getting into the realm of you're doing all this work, but where can you find your audience? Or better yet, how can they find you? And Instagram with hashtags is definitely one of the ways that you want to be considering. Now, for hashtags, there are about 30 hashtags that you can use for each post. So you want to use all 30 hashtags, especially in the beginning. You want to be using all 30 hashtags. And your hashtags, you want to be including very popular and not as popular. Here's what I mean by this. Let's say you're in the travel industry, okay? Travel, the hashtag travel probably has 3 billion views or whatever. And this just means that this is the amount of people that are using this hashtag. Now, you might think if I use the most biggest hashtags, that's gonna help me, find the most people. Not necessarily, because your content is gonna be lost in the sea of 3 billion other pieces of content that have the hashtag travel. Now, so you want to include that in there. You want to shoot your shot, right? So you want to have some hashtags that are very popular, like travel, but you also want to include more niche hashtags. So something like, travel lifestyle or my travel. These I can tell you will probably have less than 3 billion, so to speak, but they still have a smaller following, or they still have a smaller number of content out there, so that your content isn't going to be absolutely lost in the ocean of these huge hashtags, and it gives you a better chance of your content to be found on the explore page, or for other people that maybe follow these particular hashtags like travel, your content is more likely to pop up. So you want to do your research as to what kind of hashtags you want to be using with your content. Now, where can you find hashtag ideas to use for your content? Great question. Besthashtags.com. And what you can do is you can literally just search that up, like Google this. And when you search this up, you are able to put in hashtag, like let's say you use travel, you put in a hashtag like travel, and it'll literally give you a bunch of different hashtags that you can use for your content. And what I typically do is I have like a spreadsheet of hashtags that I use depending on the different posts that I have. So some of my posts are like learning how to grow Instagram, right? And some of them are more online business or coaching. Some of them are mindset stuff. Some of them are more personal, or some of them more travel, okay? And so I have done like my research, and I've created this spreadsheet of just different hashtags that I use, and I mix them up, right? So I don't want to use the same hashtags over and over again. I want to throw my nets into different ponds, so to speak. And by mixing up your hashtags, experimenting, seeing which ones work, over time, you begin to see which hashtags start to draw the most attention and bring the most followers to you, especially if you're looking at your analytics in Instagram, and you'll get a sense of which hashtags work the best, and you want to keep using those hashtags for your posts. But definitely check out besthashtags.com, and that is a great place to get ideas for your hashtags with your content. Cool. Let's go into the last tip, which is tip number 4. All right, guys, so tip number 4 is the awareness strategy. Now, this is the secret that I was talking about. This is the little secret sauce that's really going to help you build organically on Instagram. The reason why I say it's a secret is because not everybody knows this. See, some people might know get the bio up. Some people know they need content. They put content up. They might even create patterns on their Instagram so it's visually, aesthetically pleasing. Some people even know about hashtags, but they think all they gotta do is post as much content as they can, stuff their content with hashtags, and hope people will find their stuff. That, my friend, is hoping. We're not here to hope. We're here to make things happen. And in order to make things happen, you need a strategy. And this, my friend, is your awareness strategy. You need a strategy so that people will not find you by hope, but people will find you by force. Okay, whether they like it or not, they will find you. And you want to position your Instagram and you want to position your personal brand in that situation so that people will find you. And eventually, as you follow this awareness strategy, which I'm about to show you right now, you will start to build organically over time as your page begins to build authority. So what the heck do I mean by an awareness strategy? So essentially, here's the principle. You can't get something for nothing. If you want something, you're going to have to give that thing first. Now, this is just like a universal law, right? If I want to grow tomatoes out of the ground, I can't just expect tomatoes out of the ground. I have to give something. I have to plant a tomato seed. I have to water it and make sure it gets sun and make sure it gets all the nutrients and make sure there's no weeds around. And then after I give that energy and I give that time and I plant that seed, I will reap a tomato plant. Same thing for if you want attention on Instagram or if you want more followers on Instagram. You have to be able to give attention first before you can expect attention. Let me give you a quick example just so I can break this thing down for you. Let's say you have two retail stores sitting right next to each other. They sell the same clothes, same type of style. Store number one, the clerk or whoever owns the store just sits in the store and waits for people to come in. And some people walk by, it's a busy street, some people walk by. Now, evidently, he's gonna get some people to come into the store, right? It's just, there's just gonna be some people that will see the store and walk in. And they might walk in and they might, he'll ask them, do you need help with anything? They might say yes, they might say no. They might know exactly what they want and purchase it. They might look around, do some window shopping, and they might just walk in and then immediately walk out. But he's just sitting there hoping that people will come in and he's servicing those people that come in. Now, versus business number two, who instead of just sitting into his store, he goes out of his store, and as people are walking by, he's handing them flyers. Hey, check out this store with set attire or these products that he's selling. Hey, are you looking for, new clothes for your wardrobe? Or we're doing a sale this weekend or something like that, right? And he's talking to people. He's going up to people and he's engaging with people. Which store do you think is going to eventually attract the most people and as a result close the most business? It's going to be business number two. Business number two is not being passive. He's not just sitting there waiting for the people to come to him. He's going out there. He's building awareness that their store even exists, and a percentage of those people are going to come. Even if he reaches out to 1,000 people and 10% of those 1,000 people come in, that's 100 people coming to his store versus sitting there and hoping people will come in and only getting 20, 30 people to come into the store. 20, 30 people, 100 people. If they have very similar closing rates, store number two is going to win every single time. And the same thing is true with your Instagram. Okay, this whole thing about if you build it, they will come, that's a lie. No, that might have worked like before, but now there's so many buildings out there. There's so many options. There's so many choices. Why should somebody pick you? Why should somebody even care? Okay, if you build it, they will come is not true. If you build it and let people know to come, then a potentially percentage of those people will come. So with an awareness strategy, that's what you want to do. So with what you want to be doing, and this is what you want to do on a daily basis. And you can take as much time as you want to do this, but I recommend 10 to 15 minutes a day if you're just starting off. Don't kill yourself if you have a life and you want to be putting your energy into building a business and creating content and all that kind of stuff. 10 to 15 minutes a day is all it really takes. And all you're going to do is you're going to find competitors or people that are similar to your product, to your service, to what you're trying to do. Find those competitors and find people that are similar to you. Now, these can be people that are selling the exact same thing or people that are selling things that are complementary. You want to tap into their audience. Why? Because this audience is already following your competitors. And your competitors, if they're doing something similar that you're already doing, that means that their audience could potentially be interested in what you're doing. And so why you want to find these competitors and find similar products is because their audience is already following something similar, and so ergo they will possibly be interested in following you. And when you go into their audience, what you want to do is you want to find certain people, and like I said, take 10-15 minutes doing, and you want to either follow them, but more importantly, you want to like and comment on the audience's posts. Now you're gonna want to watch all the way through, because in this video, I'm also gonna give you some secret sauce that's really going to help you grow your Instagram organically and fast, guys. So stay tuned, because that's all coming up right now. Because this potentially should be your target audience. Now, you want to take your time and do this, but this is why this is so important versus just like buying followers or getting bots to do this kind of thing. You want to be building an audience of targeted people. You don't want to just have a following of anybody. It really doesn't matter how many followers you have. It just matters about the quality of your followers, your target audience. You want people who are going to be interested in the content that you're posting, the broad content that you're posting. But more importantly, you also want people that are going to be interested in the expertise content that you're producing, and hopefully doing business with you or buying your stuff or buying your products. So that's why you want to find an audience that's related to a competitor that's similar to yours. Whether you decide to follow, like, or comment, the reason why this is important is because when you do that, and you want to do about maybe like 2 to 3 of those pictures. And then when you do that, they are going to get a notification. They're going to get a notification that you followed, that you liked, that you commented. And when you do that, that is going to create awareness for who you are, because curiosity killed the cat. What I mean by that is, just take yourself for example. Whenever you go on Instagram and you go and you see a little notification, you see the little heart thing, and you're like, oh, notification, right? And you click that notification and you see somebody that you don't know or you don't recognize. What's the first thing you're gonna do? The very first thing you're gonna do is try and find out who the heck is this person. Right? I mean, I know I do it. I'm pretty sure you do it. Everybody does it. And this is gonna create that curiosity. Now, what's gonna happen if that person who is following somebody that has a similar product or service as you sees your bio that is beautifully made now thanks to this video, okay? Sees your content, the different types of content that you have, sees your personal brand, they're going to have the option to follow you or not. Now, not everyone is going to follow you. Let's say maybe like 20 to 30% of people will decide to follow you back. So out of 100 people that you do this with, you'll get 20 followers, 20 to 30 new followers. Now, just like my analogy with the business 1 and business 2, which one is better? Sitting like a sitting duck and hoping for people to come, or going out there and getting people's attention? It's obviously option number 2, getting people's attention. And if you spend 10 to 15 minutes a day doing this process and getting 20 to 30 people following you every single day, but not just any old 20 to 30 people, 20 to 30 people that are your target audience. There are people that could be potential customers, can be potential buyers, right? And have bought other stuff or bought similar stuff, okay? If you can find that, you are eventually going to be building your Instagram account. And over time, as you do this, the great thing about this strategy is as you begin to do this, growth doesn't happen like this. Growth begins to happen exponentially, because as you build more followers, and more followers are following you, and you're putting content out there, more followers are going to be engaging with it, more followers are going to be liking it, more followers are going to be commenting and sharing. More of those people with the hashtags that you're using, that's going to be going out there to more of the explore page, which is going to attract more people, and your authority measure on your account is going to begin to grow, and Instagram is going to look at your account as something that people like and continue to push out your content. So organically, you're going to be growing faster and faster and faster. And once you hit the sweet spot, I'll say like about like 2 to 3K, this is where most people's profiles start to skyrocket, because they kind of bridge that gap. They get right over that hill, and that's where their growth starts to grow exponentially. All right, guys. Now, this strategy right here is not requiring you to spend a dime on anything. But later on, if you want, you can eventually optimize this and scale this by hiring somebody to do this for you, or eventually running Instagram ads and things of that nature. But we're not going into any of that stuff. This is about how to build your Instagram fast and free. And if you do this and do this on a consistent basis, guys, I promise you, you will begin to build a personal brand that not only you like, but other people will like. People will reach out to you to do business with you, and you will be able to start to change your life from Instagram following these 4 simple tips. All right, guys, so I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys got value from this video. Share this video with any entrepreneurs or any other people that are interested in building an Instagram account for themselves for whatever purpose. If you're just trying to build followers to do something, this is going to help. So make sure you share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I drop these videos. And last but not least, guys, if you are struggling with coming up with content ideas, if you're not really sure what kind of content to create, whether it's broad or whether it's expertise, or you're stuck trying to figure out how to get on a consistent basis where you're scheduling out content and letting things run, or maybe you're at the point where you want to get other people to create content for you and you're just managing the account and making sure that you are taking care of the sales and business aspect of your page. If you are struggling with that, make sure to check out my content guide, my No Excuses content guide. Guys, the link is going to be down in the description below. This guide is specifically for people that are trying to grow their Instagram accounts, their YouTube accounts, their Facebook accounts with good quality content, with attracting people with an awareness strategy, and helping you ultimately turn those followers into buyers. So check out that No Excuses guide, and there's an accountability program in there. That's why it's called No Excuses, so that you can literally get this content out there, build your personal brand, create that business that you want to create so bad, and build the lifestyle that you want to build. Okay, guys, so check that out. Link is in the description below. Let me know if you have any type of questions. That's it for this video. You guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Hey!